Hello, I'm Emma Penny, editor of Farmer's Guardian, and I'm here at Beef Expo in Hexham, Northumberland with Farming Sunday. Today we're going to be talking to Nick Davis, winner of the Beef Stockman of the Future Award. We're going to be talking to auctioneers about market prospects, and we'll also be looking at some technical developments in the beef industry. Okay. So Nick, you've won the Beef Stockman of the Future Award last night at the NBA Beef Expo dinner. Can you tell me a bit about the system that you run at home?
We run 70 suckler cows, Welsh Black and Aberdeen Angus cross, on our 700-acre farm in mid-Wales, going from about 1,100 up to 1,500 feet. So it's quite harsh environment for cows. It's real sheep country. So I think trying to make a go of cows is unusual, but it's what I want to do, and really focusing on the breed of cow and make sure that she suits our farm rather than trying to make the farm suit the cow that we have.
Okay. And I know your plans include sort of expanding your herd to 120 cows over the next couple of years. Do you think the beef industry has a positive future?
I think the beef industry does have a positive future, but I think we need to really focus on what we're doing, and it's too easy to let things slip, sort of thing. So you've got to really focus on your cows and having the right type of cow to suit your system and make sure you get the most out of them. But yes, I think for the people that do focus on it and can get the right numbers and selling a product that the market wants, there is a good future for it, yes.
Okay. So Roy, I keep reading in the press at the moment that the sort of mince sales are accounting for something like 50% of beef sales at the moment. Is that correct?
In Morrison's stores it's not quite 50%. It's still a big proportion of the beef we sell is mince because of the versatility of the mince. There's so many dishes you can make with mince. But we still sell really good quantities of traditional cuts, you know, the topside joint, the ribber beef, the brisket. So all of those as joints are still popular within Morrison's stores. On a Sunday we still have a lot of customers that like to do a traditional Sunday dinner, but through the week mincemeat is so popular because of the lasagna, the shepherd's pies and all of the other options with mince.
And what are you finding consumers are demanding nowadays from beef? What are they looking for?
Well, the customer does like the beef to be lean. What we buy real good grade, good quality beef at Morrison's. We're 100% British on our beef, and customers are still looking for lean beef, although we do like to buy beef with a good fat cover. It helps with the succulence and the tenderness of the joints.
Chris, you're here talking about 5 things that beef producers can do to try and boost their returns. So do you want to explain what you're talking about?
Yes. Our Better Returns programme is the way that we communicate best practice and new technology to farmers, and in our BRP programme there are 5 themes.
Yeah.
Costings is probably the least sexiest and the one difficult one to engage with farmers, but that underpins everything. If you can understand what's going on in your business, you can focus your attention on the areas of the business that are perhaps not operating as efficiently as possible. Moving on from that, on breeding we would recommend that farmers use recorded bulls to get the access to the best genetics. On grassland management we've got work that's looking at best utilisation of grass species, understanding what you've got in your sward and making maximum use of that. And then rationing to complement that either as a winter feed or as a finishing ration, to understand first of all your forage and then to find the right feed to complement that as a ration. Overall herd health, because that makes everything else work as efficiently as possible. And then finally selecting the product to meet the marketplace at the right time and at the best price to suit the producer.
Chris, the beef market has taken quite a drop really over recent weeks, and things are not looking quite as rosy as they were. What's happening in the market at the moment?
Well, we have 2 sides to our business, one being the stock destined for slaughter, and then the other one being the stock destined for further feeding, the stores. The slaughter stock have taken a noticeable drop in values, as you just say, possibly as a result of several issues, one being the value of the pound. The exporters are not making as much of it abroad. The other is some of the sales techniques some of the big supermarkets seem to be having with promotions at prices below cost, really, and everything's just playing into this sad decline in values. I'm fairly optimistic about it. I think that the future's looking good with increase in prices that we've seen in other parts of the world. the shortage of supply that we have. So I'm hoping that it's relatively shortly lived, possibly recovering in the next few months. Our store market, of course, has been very buoyant, and we've seen store cattle at prices not achieved for many, many decades, really. But in the last week or 10 days, we've seen them start to slip slightly. A little bit, obviously, as a result of the drop in the fat cattle price, but another one due to the weather. Although it's been lovely for everyone, it's too dry, the grass is not growing fast enough, and actually the keep is running out quicker than the cattle are progressing.
So what do you think prospects are like for farmers going forward, you know, for people producing stores and for people, you know, who are buying those stores and finishing them?
Well, I think we've got to be optimistic, and undoubtedly there is a shortage of supply within the world, but definitely within Europe. We have a very, very good product, and if we're out there selling it and making the most of the prices we can achieve, then I think that we've got a good future in beef. I think there's no reason to say otherwise. But we can't let ourselves get into a position where we go into doom and gloom and everything slips and doesn't recover. I think it will, and I think we need to push that hard, and I think we need to promote the product and be selling the good cuts, and not just trying to undercut it by selling the lesser cuts at a reduced market price.